When you're trying to break free from a fake reality that somebody tried to build around you, that you might have had vain imaginations about, you have to change your routine. One thing you have to do first, like I said, a sister in Christ said, you got to go back to the first lie that you believed, right? And you got to because this fake reality is in your mind. And so if you write it down on a piece of paper, and somebody gave me a phone. Oh, somebody, I know who that is. She wanted to rent something from me. I pulled that down and I saw a phone number. I thought, who is that? Mercedes. Kind of threw me for a loop there for a second. So you write it down on a piece of paper and you put it on your mirror in your bathroom, or you put it in your car, you put it in your pocket or whatever, and you keep looking at that every day. It might take 7 days, it might take 21 days, but eventually you'll realize the whole thing was not even real. And you can get mad at yourself and say, it could be a pride thing where you say, well, how is it possible that I believe that, I'm gonna go over here and get me an apple pie and a water, by the way. I'm trying to make sure I don't eat sugar, That's a good example. It don't even have to be a relationship or a person or a friendship or family or anything. It could just be lies you believed their whole life about how to eat or how to exercise or how to sleep or whatever. You might ask yourself, why do I stay up to 2 o'clock at night? Where did that start? When did I start believing that lie? Why am I doing that? It could be anything that you're doing that's not healthy, But the most common thing that people get upset about is relationships that wasn't even real. And like I say, about every 6 months, I'll watch, I didn't expect the Bounty Hunter D show to be still on, but that guy's been around a long time and he changes his show, does a change up a lot, right? Yeah, so that's the reality lie. Could be religious, it could be cults, it could be political, it could be music, it could be TV, it could be anything. You believed the lie. And it's hard to admit that you got fooled. That's the pride. That's the thing that's the hardest thing to overcome. The hardest thing to overcome is that pride that you believed a lie, And sometimes we tell ourselves lies. Sometimes some of these agents, they're looking to see what lie you want to believe, and then they just become that. That's bizarre. I mean, really? They become the lie that you want to believe. It's ridiculous. It's insanity. And you can laugh at yourself because everybody's been through it. There's no new human condition. We've all believed lies. I mean, when you wake up to the left versus the red versus blue, Democrat, Republican, and you wake up and you realize behind the scenes they're making deals. When I started waking up to the red versus blue, I didn't know it was called that at the time, because I was in divorce court. I was on one side, she was on the other side. My lawyer was on this side, her lawyer's on this side. They're fighting each other. I mean, well, you did this, you said this, you're a liar. That's not how you do this. This is the law. They might not have went that crazy, but they were fighting each other in the courtroom. Most times she wasn't there. It was just lawyers, but I was representing myself. So I took a third shift job just for like 2 years. 2 or 3 years. I took a third shift job just to be my own lawyer, but then I hired one. So I still wanted to go to court and just observe what was going on. And so I think I hired one. I don't remember how I don't know if I don't remember. But anyway, so I was in court one time, both lawyers, my lawyer and her lawyer. And it was done. So I went out. They left and went out the back door, right? And I went out the other door. This is when I woke up that this reality's a script. This is when I started waking up, just like that red verse blue on that sign. So I went out the front, I hit the elevator button, and both lawyers were in the elevator, and they said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Hi." And I thought they were going to fight each other or something. It was that bad. So I just faced the door, or the buttons or whatever. And the other guy, he says, "You going down to the pub later tonight?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'll buy you a drink." I said, "Okay." They said, "Okay." They're buddies. They were buddies. They were friends. They were buddies. But in the courtroom, they acted like they hated each other. Not even joking, people. I'm not lying. Hand on the Bible, Jesus is my witness. That really happened. And I saw that and I said, this is impossible. This is all fake. They wanted a divorce proceeding. They didn't care about marriage. They wanted you to divorce because they make money off of divorces. And they knew they want you to get married in the legal system and get a divorce. They knew they make money on you every which way but lose. And they stretched it out for years so they could just keep getting money from her. She'd be sending them whatever she sent them every week, every month or whatever. She never saw that. She never knew that they were, it was all a con. I'm the one that said, "Get out. I'm done." But a week later, she's, "Can you meet me at the Walgreens parking lot?" I said, "Why?" I don't know what it was. I said, "Why do you want to meet?" And so I remember what it was. I don't know if it was Givers. I don't know if she left something at the house or something. I don't remember. I really don't care. But so I met her at the parking lot, and she looked at me. And you know, when you're with somebody, they give you that look that, "Are you sure you don't want to work it out?" You know, that's the kind of look it was. "Are you sure you don't want to give me a hug and a kiss and let's forget all this?" That's the kind of look it was, you know. And I was just stone cold, stoic. And she knew. I wanted her to know that it was over. You know, you crossed too many lines. You crossed the line. You crossed too many lines. And I didn't even know the word stoic at the time. I've heard of the word, but I didn't know if there was a thing out there. But I gave her the stone cold stoic look, and she knew it was done. So a lot of times when you're going through this reality bubble, you got to pop the bubble, but you don't. It happened for so long that you don't want to believe it is not real. So what you do is you change your routine. Every day do something different. Like I'm just gonna go over here and do something different. I'm doing something different. There's many ways you can do it. You know, a lot of people say, "Well, go talk to somebody else, go do this." Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to leave one fake reality and step into something else that's fake? But they tell people that. The counselors will say, like, people will go to a counseling session, they'll say, "Well, go find somebody else and you'll forget all about that." Then just person's still dealing with, they're still dealing with stuff. They're still not healthy, and they never got healthy. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a human being to be whole. All you need is Jesus. God, you're whole in yourself. You don't need another person to be whole. What needs to happen is two people need to be whole before they ever get together. I'm gonna go down here and sit here and watch these golfers, and I'm gonna eat my food. I've never done this, and they'll probably come out here and say, "Are you going to golf?" I say, "Nah, I'm just watching y'all." Or I'll just say, "I'm eating my food." I'll give them a fake reality. I'm coming in there. I'm just eating my food. Just give them a fake reality. See how easy it would be to get them to believe a fake reality. Every one of the top ones are full. I'm not really going to see anything because somebody hit a pole. Sometimes the plan is so elaborate and so calculated, you don't know if it was, even when you put all the data points together, hey, this was fake. But you still might have a thought in your mind, well, maybe it was real, maybe there was something else going on. So when you face off with that, there's no way to prove it that it is or that it's not. So what you have to do it was in my mind and it just went away. Oh yeah. So what you have to do is go back to the very first. Was this even legit? Whether it was true or not, was this whole situation even a legitimate thing to even be in, or be around, or be a part of? Just walk away. And today I was talking to somebody, pretty smart woman. She's able to see through the BS of most people. But I don't think she's saved, but she could see through the corporate stuff. I lost my train of thought again. Hold on one second. Okay, yeah, so what I was going to say is I told her the story and she understood. She said, I said, these are the steps I'm going to take. And she said, I need to do that. I need to do that. I'll remind her tomorrow that she said she needed to do it and see what she ends up doing. Hopefully she does. If they're willing to listen, almost everybody I'm talking to now, whether it's about the fake, about any kind of fake medical lie, fake news or anything, I'm trying to show people that you've been fed a bubble lie. It's actually a false script. I tell you, actually, when I first started waking up, before it was any kind of internet junk going on, there was a sales lady, and she said something that made me realize there's people out there that think different. She said, the way I framed the narrative she was a sales lady, I framed the narrative. She was talking to a manager or somebody, and I was just sitting there listening. This is a sales lady. This is a long time ago. She said, the way I framed the narrative, the picture, it's like a picture. She said, I go in and use right words to frame it and get them to believe that frame. And I was taken aback, I thought. And she was smiling and laughing, and she thought it was funny. And the woman she was making a lot of money. And I thought, what does that even mean? And then years later, after going through marriage and stuff, it started to dawn on me that there's people who learn your beliefs, learn what you believe, and they become that, or they frame a picture like this here. They know what your worldview is, and they frame this picture. This is how cults work. So there's a lot of people who they're their own cult leader, right? So they frame this picture, but that's what you want, and they become that. It could be a sales, it could be a job, it could be a girlfriend, it could be a spouse, it could be family, it could be in-laws, it could be political, it could be a neighbor, it could be a family member, a parent, a child. Even children try to do it to their parents. That's why when a child does something bad, the parent says, they never do that. They get caught by somebody. They'll never do that. Because the child has learned to frame. They know what that parent thinks about them, and they're learning to frame a fake reality to their parent. But over here, they're doing something else. And the parents are like shocked that their kid is doing something evil. I've seen it. Think about all your cousins that you had growing up. So they frame this picture, but they first have to study you and learn you and follow you. And they've done it so many times with other people that they're masters at it. And and it's really easy for them because all they do is if you say something, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And they're just, so let's say some woman pulled up here and I started talking to her and we just started kind of a little connection or something. And I said, yeah, I'm doing this. Yeah, I've always been interested in that. I'm thinking about doing that too. Really? You always wanted to do that? Oh, we got something in common. And then there's like 10 things that you would talk back and forth. Oh, oh yeah. So then she and you would have all these things in common. And you think, oh, that's my soulmate. Do you ever find soulmate in the Bible? I don't think so. There might be like a soul tie with people. And I just remember what I told that lady. It just came back to mind. I told her, I said, if you remember that cartoon or that nursery rhyme or whatever, for the giant was asleep. And all those little munchkins, they tried to wrap him. He just got rid of the ropes and just broke them, right? And I was telling her about Samson and Delilah, right? And I said, this is not just Samson and Delilah. This is It could be family, friends, it could be jobs, a career, anything that you believe that's you've gotten into something that puts you in bondage, right? And I said, so the giant's there, he can't get out. He's got all these strings holding him down. They finally trapped him. And that's what they're doing. They're putting one string here, one string here, one string here, one string here, one string here. And then eventually there's so many strings you can't get loose, right? So how do you get loose? If you're the giant and you've been all these little ropes that tied you down, all these little munchkin people threw the ropes over, how do you get out? You break one rope at a time. One string at a time. No strings on me. If you can't break all the ropes at once, let's say you believed a lie and you put yourself in a financial bind, okay? This is not just for like relationships or anything. Let's say you got yourself in a financial bind. How do you overcome that? You go get a job, or you go get 2 part-time jobs, or you get a full-time and a part-time. And you start fasting. You start eating beans and rice. You work overtime when the opportunity. God will make a way. If you set your intentions to be debt-free, God will open the door. So then you went and got a job. That's one tether or one string one tether that you break. Okay, so now what? You want to be debt-free. Treat that debt as if it's Delilah or Jezebel. So let's say you're that giant, and you got Jezebel or Delilah you're tied up in there. What is Delilah? Do you love me? Samson finally says, yeah, I love you. Well, what's your strength? Well, if you cut my hair, they always want to know how can you be that strong? These kind. What do you mean? I just walk by faith. I trust God. How did you escape that? By faith. But whatever that tether is that's messing you up, you're blind. You say, how do I escape? I'm hemmed in. One notch, one stream, one tether, one tie at a time. You just cut one at a time. So let's say you got 10 people around you that are all part of a fake reality, and you're saying, oh, I'm so connected to these people. How do I escape this craziness, this crazy? Well, you cut one off at a time. This one, boom. Cut this one, cut this tie, cut this tie. It might take you 3 years. But is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Well, what am I going to do when this person's not around? Live in peace. Walk around the block. Take care of yourself. Create a project. Create a habit. Do something you enjoy. And so there's always going to be that little tinge there. And that's why when you have that little tinge, you want to pick up the phone and call them, or you want to get in touch, or whatever you do, drive by there or talk to them or whatever. That's why when you got that piece of paper that you wrote down the lie, and so you start to hit the phone, and you say, wait a minute, that's not even real. That's how you do it, people. Or when you go down here to the store and you start to spend money on some candy, and you say, wait a minute, that's sugar, that's fake food, it's not healthy for me, it's going to give me diabetes, it's going to make me weak. Why would I spend money just because everybody else is doing it? And then what you do is you're introspective, you pay attention to your thoughts. So you say, okay, why is that urge there? Why is that habit there? Where did it come from? Well, you created it. Or the news or the media created it. And so you say, well, wait a minute. They're controlling my thoughts and habits and actions, right? Yeah. So you start to write your own script and rewrite your own brain and your own habits and your own mind and all that. And so that's why I said you take and you do something different. You just sit here and watch them playing golf. And up there, because their buddy said, let's go play some golf. And you say, how much is it? They say $60 for an hour. So instead of going over there because you're bored, go and put that $60 in a REIT and get dividend every month. Go find a REIT. The letter O is a REIT. Just buy you one share of realty income, and you're going to get money every month instead of that candy bar. You put that money in that candy bar, or you went over here golfing, you didn't get nothing back. So you start to invest, not only in financial, but your time and your health and all that. So I got all this free time today. I don't have to talk to nobody. I don't have to do nothing. So what do I want to do? I want to use my time wisely, right? So I might go back to the crib and clean up a little bit. And then might sleep for an hour. Then I might get up and do some Uber and make some money. Or I might go work on do some carpentry work at the house, at the other house. My point is, set your own script. Set your own dream. Don't let other people give you your dream. Make a plan, make a blueprint, and follow through with it. And I promise you, when you do that, when you set your intention to follow through, all Hades is going to break loose. And they're watching you. They might not be watching you, but the demon spirit that's in them is watching you, because it's an archon game. And I'm talking about the fallen angels. They're watching you. This is a game to them. Think about if you're an angel. You're up in 5D, right? And you're watching. So the angels what is the angel doing? Just watching us. And they look down at us and they see what we're doing. What are we doing? We go to work, we go home, we eat, we sleep, we repeat over and over every day. But they're looking at the internal. They can see the internal, because when Daniel prayed, there was a spiritual warfare for 2 weeks to get that answer to that prayer in, right? So the unseen is the thoughts. That's why they all have dream catchers. They're trying to read your prayers and your thoughts and your desires. Because if they can see your desire, they see your desire, they can send you a Jezebel or a Delilah, Or if they see your desire to start a business, they can send you somebody who says, hey, invest in this. And it's just junk, a junk bond or something. They know your thoughts. The unseen realm can read your thoughts. Then if the devil can't read all your thoughts, he can actually read your body language, because he's played the game a million times with you and other people. And there's really, everybody wants the same thing. It's not really that hard. They know what you want, because everybody wants the same thing. But if all you want is truth, how are they going to beat you? If I wanted that brand spanking new car, they could beat me. But if I want truth, and I say, well, I don't want to go in debt for that high dollar car, they can't beat you. If you're seeking truth and their reality bubbles are lies, whether it's slavery to finances, slavery to a Jezebel spirit, a narcissist, whatever, if your reality is seeking truth and all these other agents are trying to create a bubble of lies, and how do you escape? With the truth. That's what, and the reason I started all these videos and channels and websites is the truth will set you free. Every reality bubble that they create is based on lies. And if you're seeking truth, you knock down every lie. If you wanted the lie and you stay in it for 10 years, it might take you 6 months to get out of it. If there's a reality lie that you've been in for 10 years, it might take you 6 months to a year, maybe. Even if it took a year, is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. What else you got to do? What else is there? Make it like a war. Make it like a game. Make it like write it down on a piece of paper and say, okay, I'm breaking this fake reality. Lord, let's make it into a game, because I know I'm already a winner. I know I'm already free. So let me just play a game with my own mind. I'm already free. It's really has nothing to do with anybody else. It's my own mind. Lord, help me to renew my mind. That's all it is.